This morning I'm with Tony Egan, who I know extremely well over the last year, particularly. Tony, huge thanks for joining me this morning. You co-hosted the summit in June 2017, which was some time ago. Um, rather than me rattle on, tell my listeners a little bit more about yourself and how you got into property and why property as an asset.
Hi, Brett. First, good morning, everyone. My name's Tony Egan. I got into property. I bought my first buy-to-let with my wife. 1st of October '99 was our first one. The long-term thing, it was we just had our son was coming up to 2 years old, and we thought we need to set up a pension of some sort. So over the years, we've built up a small portfolio in our area, which is Worcester Park in Surrey. The market's been very kind to us. It's a high capital growth area and has been, so that's good. And so that's set there in the background.
So with your vision, when you started, Tony, you saw it as a pension. So you didn't necessarily see it as a replacement for a job or another career. You saw it as something slightly different, would you say?
Yes, absolutely right. Yeah, it was to run in tandem. And then at the back end, we probably thought we'd have one or maybe two flats that would give us an income, a bit of pocket money, if you like, into pension. But it kind of grew from there. We got quite passionate about it. So we bought and sold a few, do our own refurbs, extensions, loft extensions, etc. And we run it alongside another business.
Sure. So has that other business, which is mechanical engineering, has it got transferable skills which you've implemented? I was with Ryan Carruthers yesterday. It was interesting listening to him talking about his trading skills, moving into property. Is it soft skills which you've managed to move from mechanical engineering, or is there other skills as well?
Onto the
property.
Yeah, it very much they work hand in hand actually, because we have subcontract. The mechanical engineering has gone to industrial pipe fitting, etc. So we've done high-end stuff, parks, palaces, Ministry of Defence stuff, and now these days it's been a slow but sort of natural progression into planned maintenance, high-end properties, Knightsbridge, Belgravia, and Kensington. But working with contractors, where we'll be doing small refurb stuff, come straight over to our own property stuff. So yeah, they do go nicely hand in hand.
Sure. And just to let the listeners know, I've asked Tony at some point in 2018, can he do a short presentation on working with contractors from his particular perspective? So, Tony, so just to go into the last 3 to 6 months of what property's meant for you, what have you been involved with?
We've decided now, as you can see, I'm no spring chicken. I'm getting a bit older, so the property thing going forward will slowly replace. So we just don't want a peppercorn income in our retirement in the next 5, 10, whatever years. So we've worked with a tenant buyer. In fact, a contact I met through you, Mahfouz Rahman of Ronald Fletcher Baker. I would highly recommend him as a solicitor. I met him at one of your networking events. Mahfouz has helped us with a tenant buyer contract. That's allow us then to move forward. In fact, January the 1st, we signed contracts and transferred funds over to a joint venture partner.
Sure.
So that's one on the go. We're working with another business joint venture partner, assisting them with a commercial to residential project, a small one, but again, it's a good experience. And we've got meetings set up. We're away for a lot of January, so when we come back early Feb, we'll be travelling to Ipswich and Middlesbrough with some joint venture partners.
Okay, Middlesbrough's quite interesting that you're going all the way up to Middlesbrough.
Mm-hmm.
So one of my speakers comes from that particular area, Stephen Green. So yeah, Tony, so that's what you've been up to over the last 3 to 6 months. I know you're going up to Middlesbrough. So where do you see yourself in the next 6 to 12 months? So this time next year when we do another Zoom call or Facebook Live or, catch up in person, or maybe you present again, but you're presenting at some time earlier than that. Where do you see yourself in the next 6 to 12 months?
We'll have a lot more income from property than we've currently got now, because we're going to leverage the money we pulled out from tenant buyer contract. We're going to be leveraging that to as much as we can, really, I suppose, with our joint venture partners. So with a monetary figure, we've got a figure in our mind. I'd rather not say if that's all right.
Sure.
In public, but we've done a goal setting for that, and I think it's very achievable to get that amount of money per month, and we'll also be gaining equity en route.
And Tony, just going back to 6 months ago, so that was the summit in June 2017. So what was your experience of the summit? There was, quite a few people to network with, certainly there at that particular event. So what did you get out of it? Was there one particular person you connected with, Mafus possibly, or was there someone else, or was it the learnings?
It was mainly the learning. I mean, I was fortunate enough to have been networking over the years, etc., and also from your events. So I've got to know a lot of the people already before we got there, which when you're up at the front, you can be a bit nervous. That was fine, but
so that's a good tip already, Tony. So just to cut you short for a moment. So have a look at the upcoming summit which I've got, but have a look at the other coming meets as well prior to the summit, so you can connect with some of the people before you actually come to the summit. So that's in a way to accelerate the networking at the summit. Not to say all the people come to the morning or evening meet, the next two meets will be at the summit, but some of them will be, including Piotr, who's co-hosting the Central London morning meet, and Nicholas, who's co-hosting the Wandsworth property meet, both next week, both on Wednesday. Sorry, Tony, to cut you short there, but going back to what you were saying.
Yeah, for networking, it was great. There was a lot of knowledge as well. There's a lot of various different property strategies in the room, not just development. So that was interesting as well. Everyone's got a different opinion of sometimes the same situation. So again, it's nice to take these opinions on board and chew the fat yourself and see what you personally think as an investor, whether you're new to property, whether you're experienced. There's just so much learning there. Loads of. It was nice as well. I didn't see. I mean, there's a lot of bad press about some of the gurus and trainers in the industry. I didn't see any of that. It was all good, ethical stuff. People who really want to do business together.
Tony, I was going to say, look, people go and look at different opportunities. I look at different events. For example, I go to Neil Mangan's event. That's one event I go to. Particularly looking forward to the event he's got, I think, in April this year. Interesting speaker. So look, I look at different places to learn. We all learn in different environments as well. By spending time with yourself, I'm always learning. So, really grateful to have any time with yourself or, with other key, property professionals. What would your sort of advice be to people who are relatively new, who are coming into this market, who are thinking, look, we're not like you, Tony. We're not, the skilled networker. We're relatively quiet or shy, or we haven't got the portfolio which you have. What advice would you give to them? How did you build that vision so strong? Was it the why factor?
Sorry, what was that? How did I what so strong?
Build that, and this is the last question because I know we're slightly behind schedule for your day. Apologies. What's the why factor? Was it the why factor which made your vision so strong? Because, of course, there's been challenges in the market, the property market as well.
It's the people that's really, really important. Your education, you don't have to spend thousands and thousands on a course. If you want to, if you do want to spend thousands of course, then there are some good trainers out there that can. But at the moment, you asked me prior to this what book I'm reading at the moment.
Sure.
I'm reading a book by Rob Moore, who's very well known in the property industry, called Money. That's his latest book, so I would recommend that. But it's start doing stuff, because a lot of people, they'll keep going to events, but they'll never get on and do something. So to dip your toe in the water in a safe way in the first instance. That's what I would say.
Sure. Look, Tony, I just want to say a huge thanks. I know we could go in a lot more detail. That's why you're presenting at some point this year. Maybe we can take a little bit more time out and do a longer Facebook Live video or maybe a Zoom video. But I just want to say huge thanks for taking time out this morning.
Pleasure.
Thank you.
I'll see you soon. Take care. Cheers, Brendan.